in any field or any career you take, it's an inner job. Don't expect people will hand opportunity for you and telling you are ready to lead. You have to take the initiative and you have to believe in yourself in a way, become bold in a way that you can take the next step and take action in order to reach your best version.
Welcome back to the podcast. I am Shannon Russell. I'm excited to introduce you to my guest, Sairan Aqrawi. Sairan is an engineering leadership and team performance strategist who has helped technical leaders and organizations build high-performing teams. As a dedicated mentor and speaker, she partners with organizations to support professionals, especially women, through career transitions and leadership growth. Our conversation is so insightful that I cannot wait to introduce you to my friend, Sairan. Sairan, thank you so much for being here on Second Act Success. We met many months ago now at this point at an event, at a conference, and we just connected and we're very aligned with a lot of things, especially empowering women. So I wanted to have you on here to really talk about your career and what you do to really help pump up women, especially in leadership roles.
Yes, thank you, Shanna, for having me. I love your podcast. So impactful. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about it. Tell us what you do in your career because you are a bigwig, my friend. You have a lot going on.
Yeah, despite being an engineer for so many years, that's telling you I'm old. I graduated many years ago. But in short, I feel, Shannon, that I taught all my life. I love teaching. I love to teach people about new skills, new strategy, new system. And I think it started very early. When I was a teenage, I was in love with swimming and I was a good swimmer. So I ended up being a swimming coach, right? And to be honest, being a swimming coach or a soccer coach is not different than being a life or a business coach because it's again is about accountability and having those skills and qualification to guide others to reach their goals. So I feel I taught all my life, starting with swimming, then being good in math, which is convinced my dad that he has to push me for engineering school, although I never liked to be an engineer. Since I was young, I wanted to be a doctor. My father had a different vision. So he's like, nope, I think you're going to be a better off to being an engineer in technology. And now I thank him for that. I was angry in the beginning when I entered engineering school, but now I thank him for his viewpoint because he knew a lot. He was older. He's seen stuff that I was not able to kind of like visualize back then. So I ended up doing engineering school. And also when I came here to US, I went back and I earned my master's degree. And right after my master's degree, when I started my doctoral, I just done one semester. At the same time, I was introduced to opportunity to speak for younger engineers. And I love the mentoring and coaching and the speaking, and the rest is history. And I'm right here talking to you.
And you must have made your dad so proud, finally becoming an engineer and now being such a leader in the industry to others.
Yes, yes. It was a struggle in the beginning because, like I said, I was not a big fan to be in technology. But when I now go back and think about my skills, I was a problem solver since I was a young kid. So that makes sense to be in technology and engineering because it's all about solving problem and being innovative, right? About innovation idea, finding a new way to fix something, not just solving equation. So it's worked out. And when I moved to the United States, I was only in my 20s, I was 26. I knew that I have to earn more qualification, more skills in order to fit in the workforce right here because it's different from West and East. Going to the leadership component, again, it was not easy because although I don't like this word when they said it's a male dominated, oh, engineering is male dominated, or finance is male dominated, or law is male dominated. To me, Shannon, there is no male and female dominated. I think the person who's going to dominate it is the most competent one, the one who know their skills and qualifications very well. Then you can dominate any field you want. So I don't believe in those negative narrative that females, especially in engineering, said, "Oh, I bet it's hard for you because you are in a male dominated." And those story and those belief we keep telling ourselves, and it doesn't serve us. It just take us 10 steps back. But it was also challenging to have a voice especially I'm in construction. And imagine I enter a room, 90% of the people who are sitting in that room are male.
Mhm.
They are older than me, or they're having more qualification degree wise, or maybe communication wise. But I knew that I have to do more on my side, not to blaming the career path or the society that's not giving me a chance. So I work a lot on my skills, and that doesn't apply only to engineering. This is just for the sake for the audience. In any field or any career you take, it's an inner job. Don't expect people will hand opportunity for you and telling you are ready to lead. You have to take the initiative and you have to believe in yourself in a way, become bold in a way that you can take the next step and take action in order to reach your best version.
And I think you need to have that confidence in yourself too, to step up and want to be that manager or leader. And that goes from getting the education and practicing your skills. Everything that you said leads to that confidence. And then you can say, yes, I deserve to be in this position as much as anyone else.
Yes, I feel like women, we like to be effective everywhere. We want to be a perfect mom, a perfect wife, a perfect sister, a perfect employee. And there is nothing wrong with that. But when I hear some woman, they said, you should balance between everything. That word again, it annoy me because there is no balance. I cannot do podcast now with you while I'm texting my daughter and answering email. I'm fully 100% energy with you because you deserve my 100% energy to give a value to your audience. So women, if they tend to choose to be a mom and also working, they need to integrate those activity. I use integration rather using balance. If you took off today to take your daughter to the mall, be respectful for that time with her and only spend that day with her at the mall. Have dinner, have lunch, shop together. Don't think about the business or your day job because it's not fair to her and not fair to your job. So in that case, when you do that, you feel so good when you come back that you give your 100% to your daughter. And also you feel good about the job because you did not give, wishy-washy outcome or response to any email come your way. And when you go back to work the next day, you focus on what you miss in that day when you took off with your daughter. So there is no balance, there is integration. It's a responsibility for women in leadership to know that they cannot give a lot while they are tired. If you get exhausted, if you are mentally not able to have positive outcome, you need to pause. You need to reflect and say, okay, what is missing? Why I'm not able to give my best? There is something missing here. Take a pause and take a break and come back and do what you're supposed to do.
I want to ask you about when you first got your first leadership opportunity, all of your hard work that you were putting into growing your career path and really proving yourself.
The first time I was responsible to lead younger engineers, it was at the field when I was working in one of the private engineering company to build towers on the Mexican border. And I was in my 30, and I didn't have leadership skills much before that. I was scared to death, of course, because the client were Boeing and Homeland Security. So I know I'm dealing with very professional staff. I have to be very precise and concise on my responses. I should not make any mistake. But then I asked myself a question. I said, if I don't do it now, then when? I need to go through this fire. I need to go through this block and climb this wall. Because if I don't, I will only regret the opportunity. I was scared, but what I did that really worked, that I prepare for every meeting. I never enter a meeting with a client back then were Boeing or Homeland Security. I never enter that room without preparing. I knew the code, I knew the specification, I knew the design, I knew about every single dimension on the drawing they're going to ask about. I was prepared with bullet, with fact. Because in engineering, there is no assumption. There is no 0.001 mistake. And if you design a bridge or if you design a road, putting people like, in jeopardy by making those big mistakes, just like a doctor is no different. And when I prepare, I entered that room and more confident because I was competent in what I was doing. I arm myself with those knowledge. I arm myself with the fact, with the date, the numbers, like I said. And when they asked the question, I didn't panic because I was already expecting they're going to ask me why you reject the previous design. What was a mistake? Then I have to explain it. So to go back to your question, I was scared to take the first leadership role. But for the sake of your audience of any woman in their 30 or 40, they want to have a second act in business or in career. They don't need to wait for the perfect time or fully 100% ready. They need to jump to the opportunity, but while they are jumping, they need to be prepared also in a way that they will not panic to take the first steps.
That is wonderfully said. I love that so much. Like you said, you stepped into the fire, but you knew you were prepared and you were ready. I mean, that is amazing advice, I think, for anyone looking to just go to that next level and make sure you're going all the way in and you are prepared and ready to answer any question.
Yeah, and it's applied to business as well. I mean, starting a business, if you decided to leave your career in finance after 25 years and you want to be a businesswoman and second act, like your podcast title, and have a second, a side business, don't they say fortune favors bold, right? The
Yes.
fortune favors bold, meaning if you don't take that bold action, if you're not going to say this, said, I'm not going to be 9 to 5, I'm tired of this. I want to have the freedom and the alignment with what's my core value is.
Yeah.
You're taking a bold action.
Yeah.
This is why I always start with my client with the 3 pillars. I tell my client, I'm an engineer, so I have to use the engineering metaphor.
Mhm.
Have a building, you start with the foundation, then you build the wall and the window, the structure. Then you have the ceiling, which is protect the building. Same thing with business. If you want to have a side business, the foundation is clarity. You need to have a solid clarity about where you're heading. The clarity is a foundation. And the structure of the building in your business is the action. You
Mhm.
have to take action, right?
Yeah.
And one action to keep you to the ceiling, you need the consistency. So the ceiling of your business is the consistency. You can't just have the first book and celebrate. If you are a good writer, you can write a second. And it's good. If you are a speaker, you should not just take one action speaking on the stage and celebrate. There will be more speaking gigs coming. So the consistency, that's what is keep your business scaled. Those 3 pillars, you can always remember just by remembering any building,
Yeah.
foundation, structure, and ceiling. And that's what I started the 3 pillars with my client every time I teach.
You're not only a director at your organization working in engineering and tech, but you also have clients. Talk to me about that business aspect of what it is you do.
Yes. So again, going back to what we said, balancing and integration, I always say that in podcasts, don't call it a side hustle in a way that you feel the pressure. I call it a side heaven or side haven. Your side business should be the refusal, be that corner of yoga, the place that you love to do. Just like if you ask any painter, any artist, if they paint and they hold that brush, they don't even feel the time.
Mm-mm.
They lose a sense of timing. You might go and remind them, said, you've been painting for the last 4 hours. They say, where is the 4 hours went?
Yeah.
Your business should be the same. It should be a place that you really enjoy being there. And I always tell my client who trying to have a side business while they are working, I said, I understand you're working, and most of them are technology women. I said, but if your side business will bring stress and will make you angry with your partner and your kids and you'll be frustrated, don't do that business. There is no joy, then it's not worth for you to start it. You have to get to that conclusion, Shannon, that, okay, my day job, 9 to 5, will pay for my dreams. And my dreams, let's say I write books or I'm a speaker. It's okay to be in engineering at daytime, but if you want to speak and deliver keynote speaker for engineering organization, do it on the weekend or on holidays.
Yeah.
But have that joy doing it. Don't feel that stress saying, oh, I don't know how to do. I don't know how to manage both. Well, get to that conclusion or to that settlement with yourself saying, I'm still going to do my job because I pay the insurance. Let's say if you are a single mom, you still have kids in college or in high school, you are the breadwinner, you have health insurance for the whole family. I have to be reasonable with the client. I can't tell them, oh, if you are a writing book or a speaker, quit your day job. I'm not going to pay their bills, right? Be reasonable with them. They said, well, I'm a single mom. I can't. Don't quit. No one asking you to quit. But since you had conclusion or you have clarity about what is your side business is it speaking, writing book, baking, cooking, knitting, anything doing by hand? Great. Have it on the side time in the weekend, during the holiday, but try to enjoy it.
Mm.
Try to enjoy it because you're not going to thrive in anything if you don't enjoy.
Yeah. It's just more pressure and it's not going to grow under that pressure.
Yes, yes,
For you as a speaker, I mean, you enjoy that. That's where we met, speaking at a conference, and you get to do that in the side of your day job, and it really lights you up, I can tell.
yes. It's like when you start a business, it's like you raising a little child, baby. You enjoy every aspect and every age when they are two, when they are three, when they start talking,
Yeah.
when you drop them at the bus station, right? So it's the same, the business the same. It start like a baby and you grow that business as become teenage and adult and hopefully make a lot of money out of it. But again, raising a child, especially if you have the second one, you kind of get the experience not to take the same mistake. Business is not a linear thing. It's not like when I do engineering, I know the equation. I know there is a math equation. I will solve it a certain way. Business is totally different. So me working as an engineer at daytime, that's my IQ. My EQ, emotional intelligence, it's in my business. I have
Mm.
to know about human nature. I have to know about communication, active listening, negotiation, selling myself, selling my business, knowing about finance, taxes, client, customer service. So it has nothing to do with engineering. But what do? You bring the IQ and the EQ and you met it together. So you kind of like making the heart and the brain in alignment.
Mhm.
Be logic, you know your number, but at the same time, you are still a human being. You have to know how to speak with your client. You are a coach, you are a businesswoman. When you do engineering or any other job, finance or nurse or anything, you know your number, you know your paycheck is coming every 2 weeks or every, 15 days or whatever.
You're right.
But in business, it's up and down. It's like you make money for 6 months, then there is nothing after that.
Mhm.
Then you make money for 3 months, then things slow down. So you have to accept the fact that you're not going to be making a lot of money the first year or a lot of money the first 6 months. Don't they say great things take time?
Mhm.
If you want a great empire or business for yourself, you have to be patient. You can't just say expecting, oh, I start a business, but I don't see the money coming. The competition is high. The competition high. I'm speaking about coaching. I'm a certified coach with ICF. If I put the zip code of my house, every single block have a coach. But how you stand out as a coach, you have to be unique in a way that people will hire you above the others because they know that you're delivering the outcome differently. So the competition is high because there is a lot of people are engineers. There's a lot of people who write books. There's a lot of people who know about finance. But when client point to you, you have to have that uniqueness in your skills so you can be differentiated from the others.
What women do you serve when they come and work with you?
I think the different in my case, it's people get a little bit confused. They look at my LinkedIn and they see everything is engineering, construction and system integration, transit, and what she's doing in coaching and speaking. What I do, I kind of help women to have a voice as a leader if they are in technology.
Mm.
In short, I'm trying to convince those women they can have expertise in technology, but also they can be a leader in their career and in their life too.
Yeah.
So don't think that just because you finish 4 years college in electrical engineering or mechanical, all you know is technical. There is a lot of way to leverage that technical to start a business. Second act, to have a side business, right?
Yeah.
Utilize your technology, utilize your AI, utilize your experience in engineering, and have a side business that they talk with each others, that align with each others. So I help those women not to only think inside a box, saying, I'm only engineer, I can only solve problems. No, you can be a businesswoman too. Do you allow me to give your audience a free compliment on the note show? I will send it to you. Your client can take the very first step. If they are still working, even if they decide to quit, it is applied to both. I will send you a document that the very first step, bold steps, is a little bit scary. You don't take it. You can do the second act, right? I will send it to you and you can share it with your audience. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. I love how you help others too, because it goes back to the integration piece. When we get to midlife, we've been in our career for a while, it can get stale, whether you're a leader or you're not. And I think to have that side haven, I love that term, to have that, it gives you a little something else. It gives you that little bit of extra creativity, maybe in your day, especially if you're in the engineering, tech, mechanical world. So, I love that you're showing women in leadership in tech that they can branch out and they can help others. You said earlier that you were always educating, you were always a teacher. Yes, you are as a coach, but even as an engineer, you are teaching others how your process works, right? How this design is going to work. And it just all comes together so nicely.
Yeah. Yeah. And adding to what you said earlier, you think about every woman life. I'll talk, I'm a bias. I want women to succeed, right? The first 25 years or 30 years of your life, if you decide to be a mother and have kids, you think about your career, you got a job, you make money, you pay the bills. So it was all about survival, right? You surviving, you paying the bills, you taking the kids to school, you cooking, you cleaning.
Yeah.
So when you hit after 40 or 45, nowadays some women telling me their midlife start at 35. I don't know how, but this you go back and you think about yourself. You said, okay, I done everything. I was a good mom, good wife, good sister. I pay the bills. I establish a house, a family. Now is my time, right? So the intention, it's come back to you. So it will start alive with intention and your dreams. So you've done all the duties. So you don't feel guilty towards your daughter or your son because they're already driving, they're already starting their college time, right? So now is your time, engineer or non-engineer. Don't feel bad if you start after you're 40 thinking about having your side heaven or haven. You deserve that. You've done everything else before that. Now's your time. Right? If it's not now, then when?
Right.
And you started small, just like another baby, call it a business, and you find that joy and you make it grow as you go. So when you age, if you say age 60, 70, 80, whatever you want to call it, you are not bored. By having a side business, you basically reinventing your life. You reliving your life. So your 50 will be another 25 because
Mhm.
you're starting your empire. You're raising that third child, which is called your business. I encourage women to have the grit and tenacity to start now. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect time. And don't wait for people to give you the space. You create the space for yourself. You kind of like just squeeze yourself on the table, say, oh, I can fit here. I'm sitting here on the table.
And you can't wait. It's like that in any aspect of your life. No one's going to hand it to you.
Well,
So take your experience, your skills, and move forward with what you want to do. And you're doing that,
you
Sairan. It's really inspiring. You're doing it with your career, with your speaking, with your business. It's really inspiring. And I want my listeners to be able to reach out to you and connect. So where is the best place for them to find you?
Thank you, Shannon. So I only have two platforms. Is LinkedIn, Sairan Aqrawi. They can reach out and they always can get the 15 minutes complimentary if they book in my calendar on LinkedIn. Or also if they want to gain some clarity about their leadership skills or how to start a business or how to be more effective in communication and negotiation, they can actually reach out on Instagram, Sairan Aqrawi, and I will give them 15 minutes complimentary as well.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll have everything. I'll put it in the show notes. It was so lovely to chat with you. And thank you for such solid, clear advice that you gave and really can be applied in any industry. But it's just really empowering women to find their place at that table and create that integration, as you call it, which is such a lovely word.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Second Act Success podcast. If this episode has you thinking about starting a business or growing the one that you already have, I offer free Second Act strategy calls. This is where we map out what makes sense for your business and your life. You can book yours now at secondactsuccess.co/strategy or grab the link in the show notes below. As always, thank you for being here. Until next time, I'm your host, Shannon Russell, wishing you the best day ahead as you plan your second act. I'll see you on the next episode.